Hi, welcome to episode 58 of the Stress Nuts podcast. I am Stacy, also known as Stacy Elstone on Instagram and Stress Nuts on Ravelry. Today is November 24th. It's the day after Thanksgiving, so if you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, so I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you celebrate, that's the state's Thanksgiving. And I hope you're having fun, just relaxing, maybe some shopping. Esther's been a little crazy. We just got in from outside. I've tried to record this 3 other times, and she has either gnawed on the couch or been scratching the corner of the wall. It's fine, but very distracting, and I kept getting up and I just didn't feel like that was, I don't know, it was just a lot of interruptions for a podcast. So I'm gonna try to record this one more time, and if it doesn't work, then I'll record tomorrow, or maybe later. So yeah, today is a wonderful sunny late fall day in eastern Michigan, which is where I live. I'm not from Northville. I live in Northville with my husband Doug and our pug Esther. It is it's outside of Detroit. We can get to Detroit in about 20 minutes. I grew up a little bit closer to Detroit, and yeah, so did Doug. We grew up in the same town. That's how we met. Anyway, so it's a beautiful sunny day. It's a little warm, which is why I'm not wearing one of my finished objects. But first, we have some administrative stuff to take care of. So we had the Half Moon Oracle giveaway because the wonderful, talented Kristen of Volan Vine Yarns and the Yarngasm podcast gifted us her pattern. And not the winner yet. It was post 2 through 77, and random number generator picked number 45, who is Minminlea, Minminlea. And the prompt was, what is your favorite holiday beverage? And she said a salted caramel mocha frappuccino from Starbucks, which is delicious, and rum and coke, which is also really good. So congratulations. No, you don't have to do anything. I will contact Kristen and I will give her your Ravelry name and she will send that pattern your way. And then I wrapped up the Sock-tacular KAL because I dropped the ball, because life happened. Whatever, it's fine. But I pulled winners from Finish the Hose and the Chatter Thread. And so from Finish the Hose, and take a sip of coffee. From Finish the Hose, the winner which was numbers 2 through 95. You can tell I don't do KALs often. So 2 through 95, and random number generator picked number 88, LMCOLL, who is Linda from Pennsylvania. So congratulations. Send me your address and I will get this skein of Once Upon a Corgi in the mauve tone colorway on her ginger base. Yeah, just her sparkle base. It's gorgeous. This part, it just kills me. Love it. So you will receive this as well as these Knox Yarn Company minis, which she sent to me about a year ago when I purchased the same set for myself. So congratulations. I will get these out to you as soon as you give me your address. And then from the Chatter Thread, which was numbers 1 through, not 1, because I was number 1, so 2 through 112, the random number generator selected number 40, who is Bungalow 312, and number 71, who is D Kenyon 84. So if you are those people, message me on Ravelry and I will send, and let me know the sock pattern of your choice, and I will send that as a Ravelry giftable download to you. So congratulations, everybody. I'm sorry I dropped the ball on that again, but just a bunch of stuff happened. What can you do? So I feel like Esther's gonna be a little tyrant again. Sweetie, you doing okay? She's actually doing really well. So with that, I have two finished objects. So the first finished object is my holiday Clark socks, my Christmas Clark socks. This is the Clark sock pattern by Jacqueline Salem of Brooklyn Knit Folk. It's this beautiful cable flanked by pearl ridges. Esther, don't eat my printer. Babe, what's wrong with you today? Huh? But, let me take it off the blocker so you can see this beautiful pattern because it's centered, so it's hard on a blocker. But this beautiful braided cable flanked by pearls, and then on the back it has this really sweet little cable running down. The only modification I make to this pattern, this is my second pair, is that I do a reinforced heel flap and gusset because that is my preferred sock method. Because the pattern calls for a short row heel. Yeah, so I just use my heel. But this is such an amazing pattern. I highly, highly recommend them. And then what makes them my Christmas Clarks is that I used my encouragement colorway. So it is Stress Knits yarn on my squishy base, which is the Merino Cashmere Nylon 80-10-10 in the encouragement colorway. So yeah, I really love it. This was not supposed to be a Christmas color, but it just kind of turned out that way. I actually dyed this up for Candace's Mint Along, which I think ends in a few days. And if it does end in a few days, I'm going to enter these. Candace of Pin Feathers and Pearls podcast, who I adore. We started the same week, so we're like podcasting sisters, and I love her. So these will be my entry. But yeah, they just screamed Christmas to me, so yeah, I really love them. This is number 9 for my box of socks, and number 6 or 7. Sweetie, are you okay? Hey. Come here. Yeah, so, sorry, I'm so distracted right now. I'm the worst podcaster ever. But Esther is like getting up on the table. Oh, okay, it's fine. She's doing okay. But 6 or 7 for my holiday, my Christmas box of socks. Just so you know, I celebrate Christmas. It's just what I do. But it is also the holiday season. So I got this box from Joann Fabrics, and it says gorgeous warm hearts. I'm gonna grab her really quick. Babe, why are you, hey, don't eat the wall, silly girl. Come here, let's give you some treats. We have our treats in this jar that's really hard to do one-handed. Ah. Come here. You're such a big girl. I'm sorry about that, guys. She is just good girl. Good girl. Go get it. She's so stupid. Sweetie, come here. It's right here. Sorry about that. It's right there. Literally put it in front of her face and she couldn't find it. Ready? Go. And sorry guys, she's almost a 5-month-old puppy. Like 5-month years. She's almost a 5-month-old puppy. So she's a little crazy. It's fine. Hopefully that will be the only Esther long interruption. Yes, I got this from Joann Fabrics for 40% off. So, yep, and then I have so this is my 6th pair of Christmas socks. I completely stole this idea from Amy Florence of the Stranded podcast, which if you don't watch, you should, because she's amazing and wonderful and super inspirational and just a wonderful human being. So, yes, so these are my Christmas socks. these will be going in there. Esther really likes them too. Right, babe? Yeah. So there are those. And then I finished my Timber cardigan, which is by Shannon Cook from the Within collection. I knit this out of Brooklyn Tweed Shelter in the postcard colorway, which is this beautiful grayed pink colorway with red tweedy flecks, and it's the most beautiful. I love it so much. I could knit everything out of this. I probably will have multiple sweaters out of this, to be honest, but I did the pockets. I just need to seam them. Yeah, so I knit it a little bit longer than the pattern calls for, but I really, really love it. And it fits really well, but it's just really warm. And I said really about 7,000 times, but oh well. Guys, I'm a mess today. Why am I doing this? Because I really wanted to. So, yeah, here it is. This is such a simple pattern. I highly recommend it to anybody. This would be a great for sweater pattern if twisted rib doesn't put you off too much, because there's a lot of twisted rib in this. So yeah, highly recommend this pattern. I have a neighbor who locks their car about 7,000 times as they're walking to their apartment. And it's super annoying, but it's fine. I think they stopped. Okay, so yeah, those are my finished objects. She's calm now. Okay, so I'm really happy with these. I'm so happy with these socks, and I love this sweater. I can't wait to seam up the pockets and weave in the ends and wear it. So yeah, that's really exciting. I don't know why I'm saying really so much. I don't know what's going on. It's fine. Okay, you guys don't watch this because I'm a super put together person, because if you did, I don't know what you see in me. It's an interesting day. So, I have 2 works in progress, and they're both Christmas socks. So the first pair I just cast on the other day. I found this skein of Christmas lights that I knit my mom a pair of socks 2 years ago in Christmas lights by Jinx Yarn. I think I won this on the Spicy Homemaker podcast. I forget what it was for, but I just remember this was one of the options. I love this colorway so much. And this is Jinx Yarn's Christmas lights. This is the sparkle base, the glitz sock base. And yeah, so I'm a little nervous because I had under 50 grams. And I know I can use just under 50 grams of yarn if I do heels, cuffs, and toes in a contrast color, which is what I'm doing. But I do top down because I don't like knitting toe up. I've done it multiple times and I just don't like it. I don't know why. I think it's because I love a heel flap and gusset, and I don't like the construction of heel flap and gussets from the toe up. So I kind of guessed on how long to make this, and I hope it's enough yarn. If not, I might just buy another skein because I love it, but I might buy it in her strong sock base if I do that, because Doug really loves these. And I have this is a weird tangent, but I have this idea of knitting him. Oh, I forgot to bring the socks I'm knitting him for Christmas. I have 2 pairs, but I've been working on them slowly, but I'm actually going to be working on those when he's not home, so I can give him, the hope is 2 pairs of socks for Christmas, so we'll see. But he saw this and he fell in love with it. He's like, that's the coolest pair of socks I've ever seen. He loves reds and pinks, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, but this is the Christmas Lights colorway by Jinx Yarn. I love it. I'm using Knit Picks Stroll in the white colorway for contrast heels, toes, and cuffs. I've done the heel flap and turn. I'm working on the gusset right now. And this is how much I have left for both socks. So we'll see what happens. Wish me luck. But I love them. And they're just like they're just a nice size. You know, it's not an ankle sock, but it's not my normal 5 to 7 inch. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And I have tiny feet. I have a US 5.5 women's, so I can fit into 3.5 in kids sizes. My favorite pair of shoes that I have right now are kids shoes. But they fit and they're cheaper, so it's fine. But yeah, so we'll see how this goes. I'll keep you updated. The other pair that I'm knitting for my Christmas box of socks is my pair of Grinchy socks. So I came up with this colorway for the last update. I just threw 3 colors that I thought would look good together for Christmas, and just kind of like, so I did it in my method that I always do it, and then I used the tongs that I have, and I just kind of mushed up the colors, and it came out like this. So this is Grinchy. This is on my smooth sock base, which is a 75/25, and I think I love it. So yeah, and it just reminded me of how the Grinch stole Christmas, so that's why I named it Grinchy. I love it so much. Yeah, so this is like a normal size for me, and then here is, so it's considerably shorter. But yeah, all the little speckles of red and blue in here, I really love, and it's such a beautiful color. I'm very proud of this one. But it's just a basic vanilla sock. So I'm almost about halfway done with the foot, because again, I have tiny feet. I'll probably finish this today, actually. So we will see how that goes. I'm knitting both of them on US ones. These are on high, excuse me. I don't know, my breathing's really weird right now. It's fine. Because I have a stuffy nose, so I'm inhaling a lot. And when I podcast, I get really nervous, which is really stupid because I've done this for 58 episodes, but I breathe in really short, fast breaths, and it causes a lot of air to want to come up and burp, so it happens. But that's real life, guys. It's real life. So, yeah. That's Grinchy. Yeah, that's all I'm really working on. I'm not casting on a sweater until December 1st, so that'll be coming up soon. But in the giveaway thread for Thank You for 50, which I will be drawing for the podcast, the first podcast in December, I asked people what they wanted to see on the podcast, and a lot of people have asked me about different sock yarns and how they've worn and all of that jazz. So we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna take my sock blockers, and so I can show you. So the first blend of yarn I'm going to talk about, that is backwards, is 80/20, which is my favorite for socks. 80/20, I love the way it feels when I'm knitting it up, and I love the way it feels as a finished object. So here are 2 socks that I wear pretty frequently, and that's why I picked the pairs that I've picked. They're my most worn pairs of socks. And as you can see, they both have contrasting heels and toes. Yeah, this is spun right round. I don't remember the colorway. It might be Space Highway. Not sure. But I love Spun Right Round's 80/20. It's beautiful. And then this is Jinx Yarn Strong Sock, which is also an 80/20 in the Unsafe for Swimming colorway. She's just sleeping by my feet, and it's super sweet. Yeah, and then I used an 80/20 for heels and toes in this one, and this is Knit Picks stroll on my nose right here itches. I don't know if you guys get that. My skin's so dry right now. Yeah, but there's a little bit of like kind of felting, kind of not. The toe's in better shape than my heel. I wear hard on my heels, which is why I love this heel flap and gusset. But that's where I am rough on socks, is on the heel right here. But yeah, so again, I wear these a lot, but it looks like I just knit these, which is really, really cool. So I highly recommend 80/20s. I'll show you the sock too. There's barely any felting or pilling on the bottom of this sock. So these, I highly recommend 80/20s for socks because, again, it's my favorite. It's my favorite for a reason, because they hold up very well. So actually, let's do these next. Another blend of yarn that I use pretty frequently is a Stellina blend. So it's a, from most dyers, it is a 75 superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5% Stellina. And I've worn these socks so much. I've actually worn these socks more than I've worn my 80/20 socks, just because I love the colorway so much. These are quite big, because I haven't, some of these I've blocked not blocked, but like washed recently. I've not washed these recently. I need to wash them, like now. Same with these. So they're a little looser, because I wear them pretty frequently. This is Volan Vine Yarns on her Blitz base in the Gashly Crumb colorway. So as you can see, they're, again, I haven't washed these, but there is some more felting and pilling on the bottom of the sock. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it's just a little bit more. Maybe you can tell more on the heel, because that is where I'm hardest on them. Yeah, I guess you can see it. It's a little more worn, but they still hold up really, really well, and they fit really well still. They haven't stretched out too much. Again, they're a little stretched now because I've worn them, but the second I wash them, they will go back into place, because I do not wash my socks every time I wear them unless I have walked a lot or I feel like they're gross. These have probably been worn 3 or 4 times, and like I want to wash them right now, because you can tell, but wool breathes, so I don't know, I don't feel like it's necessary to wash my socks every time I wear them unless, you know, I'm like walking in the city or something like that in my boots and I just feel like they're gross. I don't know. That's just me though. But yeah, so 75/25 holds up really well for me. The other example I have, this is my hand-dyed yarn Stress Stitch yarn in the Sweet Disposition colorway. And again, it's a little felted on the bottom of the sock here because of, that's just where I'm hard on my socks, but everywhere else, it's fine. It's a little worn on the bottom as well because I wear these a lot. But yeah, so 75/25, they work really well also. And I recommend all of these brands, so all of these dyers. And I picked these socks because they're the ones that I for sure wear the most out of all of my hand knit socks. These are the ones that I've, yeah, low battery. They're for sure the ones that I wear. Like, they're the ones that I reach for every time. So these are from Junk Yarn. This was actually her first batch of Sylvia, so it's a little lighter than it is now, but I love them. You guys all know how much I love the Sylvia colorway by Junk Yarn. I have a few skeins of it, mustache. So this is a 75/25. It is her smooth sock base. And I wear these a lot, and there's actually there's almost no like wear and tear on them. So yeah, 75/25s hold up really well. Again, there's some stuff here where I like am hard on my socks, but again, they hold up really, really well. And I need to wash these because I just wore them the other day. But junk yarn, highly recommend. 75/25s, highly recommend. And then I think this might be my favorite socks I've ever knit, and I think this might be just like my favorite pair of hand knit socks in my sock drawer. So this is Mermaid of the Black Lake by a Homespun House on her BFL nylon base. It was called the Olsen base. I'm not sure if it's called the Olsen base anymore, but it is a 75/25 superwash BFL. I think it's superwash. I'm not sure actually, but it's a BFL nylon blend. I did the Hermione's Everyday sock pattern. I reach for these all the time. They're my go-to pair of socks. I love the way they feel. They're still incredibly soft, but there's a sturdiness to them that they have that the others don't. Seriously. There is a little bit of wear and tear on these socks, but again, I wear these all the time in the fall and winter. But yeah, there's some like felting here. But I love this pair of socks. So yes, BFL nylon blends are probably one of my favorites for socks. Yeah, I really, really love these. I also love a good 80/20 BFL, but I don't know, I couldn't find the socks that I have in those. I know where they're at, but I was kind of lazy and didn't feel like looking for them. So, yes, highly recommend. And I've never had a problem with a Homespun House, ever. So, yes. It's so hard because I have never really knit with a sock yarn that I never would use again. I just have my preferences, and so like my favorite, I don't know, it's really hard. Again, BFL nylon and 80/20s I think are my for sure favorites. I'll let you know how the MCN hold up. I have a few more skeins of yarn that are MCN that are going to be socks, so yeah, we'll keep you updated on those. I don't know, I feel like I was gonna be more, I don't know, but alright, I have an issue with bashing other makers. Yeah, and I also understand when yarn bleeds, like I understand why that happens, especially if it's a super saturated colorway. So stuff like that doesn't bother me, and I get bases that I know I like. Yeah, so I don't really have any complaints about sock yarn and how they hold up because I use what I know works for me and how I wear socks, and from dyers that I love. And just, yeah, so I'm just gonna give you the rundown of my favorites again. So I love my yarn because I wouldn't sell it if I didn't love it. So Stress Knits yarn, I love. A Homespun House, absolutely in love with. Junk yarn, always a huge fan. Vine yarns, you guys know I could probably write a poem about her yarn because I love it so much. Jinx yarn, same thing, it's wonderful. And Spun Right Round, I love it. So, I don't know, I think it's really important to experiment with sock yarn and figure out what you like. I'm gonna adjust And for me, I like soft yarn for socks, and I also like really sturdy yarn for socks. For example, Regia yarn, it does hold up very well, but I also find that it stretches a lot. And so I have a pair of socks that I knit out of an Arnie and Carlos yarn, and I wear them, but I don't know, they're not my go-to. And same thing with Opal. I love it, but it's very sturdy and it holds up, but it stretches, and I don't like that. So yeah, so I really just think that you have to figure out what works for you, because I know so many people love Opal and Regia, but for me, it's not really my cup of tea. I would much prefer to spend the money for somebody's hard work and a base that I know I love. I also I have some Woolen Boon in a 100% superwash merino, and I will let you know how those hold up for socks. I'm for sure gonna knit a pair without contrasting heels and toes just to see how they wear, and I will keep you updated on that. So yeah, that is my sock yarn review, I guess. Yeah, I really love supporting indie dyers because I understand all of the work that goes into it. So with that, I'm going to segue into Stress Knits Yarn. So if you're not interested in my business, that is perfectly fine, and I will talk to you next week. And if you are, we should talk about Stress Knits. So right now, I am having my Black Friday through Cyber Monday sale, which started on Wednesday, and it is, I think, 10 or 15% off. It's one of the two. I don't know why I don't know this, but I put it up on Wednesday, which is probably why I'm not like thinking about it. But no code needed. Everything in my shop right now is discounted. I know there is one skein of yarn left at this moment. My fade kits are discounted. I think there's one or two more. And then my more popular colorways. So we have Sweet Disposition, Bell Jar, Encouragement, Grinchy, My Jam, Pillow Mint. That might be it. And I Smell Snow, obviously. So the bases that you can get it on are my 75-25 Superwash Merino Nylon, which is my smooth sock, my 80-20 Superwash Merino Nylon, which is my favorite, my Sparkle sock, which is 75-25 Gold Stellina, and my Squishy sock, which is my 80-10-10 Superwash Merino Nylon Cashmere. This is the perfect time to get sweater quantities, shawl quantities, yes. And I just wanted to reiterate, if there is a weight of yarn that you would like a sweater out of or a large shawl quantity out of, and by large shawls, I mean like 3 skeins. If you would like 2 skeins, just message me and we can talk about it. But it is the perfect time to do that. I had somebody who wanted a sweater quantity of I Smell Snow on a non-superwash worsted weight, and we made it happen and we figured it out. I have tried out bases for worsted, sport, and DK, and bulky from my yarn supplier. I haven't knit with all of it, but I have like touched it. So I know which ones to purchase for my mill, but I don't carry them in the shop because there's not a huge demand for it. So if you would like a sweater quantity in a weight that I do not carry, or even if there's a base that you would like to see me carry, like something with silk or BFL, message me and we can talk about it. Yeah. So that's really all there is. The sale goes through Monday, which is Cyber Monday. But I did put limited quantities on all of the pre-orders because I know what I can handle. So if you really want something, I would act on it now because I know there are some colorways that are kind of getting low on quantity. So highly recommend that, like jumping on it. I think that's really it. So I'm going to be taking a break from dyeing at the end of December once all the pre-orders are out, and maybe the first part of January, just because I kind of need a break. So just kind of a creative break. I might dye some yarn just to like stockpile for when I update the shop. This is the last time there will be pre-orders for a while, just because I'm a one-woman show. I do everything except for take the pictures. I dye all the yarn, I wind it all, I ship it all. So, and I do all of the communication. Doug takes pictures for me because he's wonderful. So with a job that also takes up a decent amount of my time, it's just really hard to do everything. So, excuse me. So yeah, there's that. And then I'm also going to be putting off my favorite murder yarn clubs. There won't be any for January, February, or March. I think I'm going to start it back up in April or May, but that could change. So yeah, but I will be launching those colorways in the shop in like mini skein sets and full skeins probably mid-January. So yeah, so this might be the last time to get some Stress Knits yarn for a while if you're interested. If there is a colorway you would like but it's not up, message me and maybe we can work something out. Yeah, but with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful time. I will see you for Vlogmas because Jacqueline and Julie talked me into it. Yeah, so I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Bye.